Greetings, everybody, and welcome to my 7 Days to Die tutorial on how to install mods for 7 Days to Die using SphereII's mod launcher. Now, if you guys are interested in playing things like Valmod Overhaul, A Clockwork Project, True Survival's SDX mod, or many of the other mods that you can actually find floating around on the forums, this guy SphereII has created a launcher that will pretty much handle all the processes that you would usually go through manually behind the scenes. It is very, very easy to use this thing, but I've had a request to actually show how it works and how you can actually install the mod you like. So without any further ado, let's get started! Now, you guys may have seen on the forums that there are many mods for the game, and usually a lot of these actually require you to go in and edit some files directly in order to make the mods run. Now, SphereII is an awesome guy who created this launcher that pretty much will handle all of that process for you, making it really easy to install not just one, but as many mods as you like, provided you have enough disk space, of course, because for each mod you install, it essentially will create a fresh copy of 7 Days to Die with only that mod installed. So you could have like 5 or 6 different instances of 7 Days, all with different mods. The launcher will then allow you to download and install them very, very easily. The first thing you're going to need to do is, of course, download the launcher itself and then run it. Now, in order to download the launcher, you just need to visit 7d2dmodlauncher.org. A link is in the description, so if you click on that, you'll get to exactly where I am right here. And then if you go to the top right of the page, you'll see Download 7 Days to Die Mod Launcher. All you've got to do is click that, and it will start downloading. And it should be really quick because the application is pretty small. Before we actually get onto installing any mods, we're going to want to make sure that our game is in factory defaults. So essentially, we want to make sure that the game we're installing the mods over is a vanilla game. Essentially, what the mod launcher is going to do is create a copy of the game that's in your Steam folder, move that to a new location, and then install the mods over it. However, if you currently modded the game using other methods like file alteration or anything like that, directly, then you're going to want to make sure this is reset. Otherwise, it's also going to copy those changes over when you do this. And we don't want to do that. So the way to do this is when you're in Steam, if you find your 7 Days to Die in your games, right click on it and then go down to Properties. Once you're in Properties, you're going to want to go to Local Files, and then you're going to see there's a button here called Verify Integrity of Game Files. If you click on that, it will reset all of the configs back to default. Now, if you are working on any mods or if you have anything installed, I recommend you create a backup of all those files first. So just move them outside to a completely different location outside of your game folder, and then go ahead and click this button. So usually the mods are via XMLs. So if you change any of the XMLs and move them out, it will simply replace those, and it's perfectly safe to restore your game to its vanilla settings. So once you've gone ahead and clicked that, we can then move on to the next step of actually installing the mods. Next thing you want to do is get the mod launcher that you downloaded and move it into a memorable location. This mod launcher is going to be used to launch all of your modded games, so you're going to want to leave this somewhere where you can access it easily so you can get into the game nice and quickly. So the best place I can recommend is simply just to drag and drop it onto your desktop. Now it's time to open the mod launcher. This is nice and easy, just double click it and it will open after checking for a few updates, and you can see that now I've got the mod launcher open and ready to run. Now, in order to install mods, it's actually really easy. So all you need to do is you can find all the mods by clicking on the little plus icons on the left hand side here. So you can see that on the very left here in this first yellow box, I can just click on any of these plus signs. So let's, for example, go into 7 Days to Mod, and you can see that all of the different types of mods are actually here. So you can see that you can even install vanilla, you can install it with the unofficial XML fixes, and then you've got all the other ones like Valmod, Craftworks, Bad Company, Clockwork Project. There's a few others as well that you can find in different areas. So if, for example, if you wanted True Survival, then you could go into this one and you'll find the non-SDX and the SDX one, and you could even find Project Z and War of the Walkers down here as well. So if you're interested in installing any of those ones, that's where you'd go ahead and find them. Now, let's assume, for example, that we wanted to install, I don't know, War of the Walkers. Now, this is really easy. Just click on War of the Walkers and it should highlight here. You'll see that there's a red X next to it and it's saying not installed if I hover over it. Now what I want to do is you can see that now in the middle section it'll say the mod is not installed yet. The mod launcher needs to make a copy of the game before it can install the mod. You can make a copy of an existing game folder or re-download from Steam. Now the main reason I told you to reset your game files in Steam is because it is a lot faster to just download the mod files than have to re-download the entire game again from Steam. So this should hopefully hopefully save you a ton of time. So by default, it's usually going to say download from Steam. So you can see there's copy from an existing copy or download from Steam. What you're going to want to do is go to copy from an existing copy, and then if this isn't in the correct location for your game, you're going to need to go into this file location here and change it. However, if you've not installed this anywhere special, then you should just be able to leave this as default. The next thing you need to do is just go install mod. So let's go ahead and click that, and you'll see that in the bottom left here, it's now starting to download the mod and getting ready to install. So let's come back when it's done. Alrighty, the mod has now downloaded. Hooray! So you can see that on the left-hand side now, next to War of the Walkers that we decided to install earlier, you can see now that there's a nice little green tick there that's saying that it's all installed and it should be working just fine. So all we need to do now is go ahead and highlight over that one, and you can see now that the option comes up to play the mod. If you're interested in where the mod is located, you can also see the file location right here. So it will actually create a new version of your program files, so it'll actually be program files with some underscores rather than spaces if you're on Windows. If you're on Mac, I'm not exactly sure where it'll actually put it because I've not played 7 Days for Mac, but it should be very similar as it is right here. All you need to then go ahead and do is click on Play Mod, and the game will start. So you can see it's just going to make sure everything is running, and give or take a few seconds. Let's just see if this works. There we go, and you can now see that it's just checking for updates and things like that, copying a few things over, and the game will start. The really cool thing about this mod launcher is that you can install as many of the mods here as you want without any worry about it overwriting your other modded games. Now, for example, let's assume that we wanted to install, let's just say, a Valmod expansion. We can actually go ahead and safely install this by simply highlighting over it as we did with War of the Walkers and clicking Install Mod. And you'll see it's going to go ahead, create a copy of the game from our vanilla folder, and then push this over, and it will then go ahead and install the mod. And you can see that it installed it rather quickly. Now, the cool thing about this is when you open up this one with Valmod, it's not going to go ahead and ruin your other modded games, just as long as you start a new game each time with the different mods. So, for example, don't try and open a War of the Walkers save in a Valmod expansion modded game. Make sure you start the correct version of the game before you go ahead and do that. But you can see now that we've got both War of the Walkers and Valmod expansion installed right here. So let's say we wanted to play War of the Walkers one day. All we have to do is highlight over that and click Play Mod, and then just say another day we fancy playing Valmod expansion. This is nice and easy. Just go ahead and click Play Mod once you've highlighted Valmod expansion. It really is as easy as that. Deleting mods is also nice and easy. All you need to do is highlight the mod that you want to delete, and then you'll see in the middle section here, there's a little bit there that says Delete Mod. Simply click that button, and the mod is gone. During my live streams, I like to use 7 Days to Die's Valmod overhaul with Compo Pack. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking how I install Valmod with Compo Pack as well, because when you go into 7 Days to Mod, you'll see that if you install Valmod overhaul, for example, and open it, you won't actually have the Compo Pack. However, there's also the Compo Pack under 7 Days to Mod prefabs. You can see that we've got Compo Pack or Mega City. Now, if we install one of these, all it's going to do is have a vanilla game with the new prefabs. However, if I wanted to install a modded game with the new prefabs, it's also under its own little section. So, for example, the one that I use in my live stream, which is Valmod Overhaul with Compo Pack, you can find it under here. Just go to 7 Days to Mod Compo Pack, and then just choose the mod that you want to install. What this will do is it will download Compo Pack, install all those prefabs into your game, and then it will go ahead and install whatever mod you selected on top of it. So then I've got the prefabs and the mod, and that's how essentially I got it to work with my live stream. So if you guys were interested in installing prefabs and a mod, that's how you do it. Nice and easy. So with that, that just about covers everything you guys need to know about using 7 Days to Die mod launcher to install and play whichever mods you like. Now, this mod launcher does also offer a feature where you can combine, mix and match a few different mods and create your own personalized combinations. Now, this is beyond the scope of this tutorial. This one was designed just to get you guys up and running with whichever mods that you wanted to try out and play, but there is a way that you can go ahead and install say multiple mods or different combinations from different mods, or maybe if you're working on your own mod, you could also make it compatible with the launcher as well. Now, I'm not going to be covering this in tutorials because on the 7 Days to Die forums, SphereII has a whole thread dedicated to this very thing as well, where you can find out some more information. If you do have any questions, however, about the basic features of this mod launcher, then feel free to just drop me a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if I'm not sure about how some things work, I'll be sure to check the forums or guide you to SphereII's thread as well, just so you can figure out that information as well, because I'm sure he'd be happy to help you out as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you guys later on. So until then, bye!